Hey guys, so in this video we are going to cover 5 mistakes that you don't know you're making. Mistake number 1, taking really large steps when you're moving on the court. So what you want to do is you want to take micro steps because you don't want to anticipate where the ball is going to go. You can't really predict where the ball is going to go. So having micro steps allows you to adjust as the ball is approaching. This is true for when you're answering a lob, maybe with a bandeja. You don't want to take like super big steps because then you may be too far away from the ball and the ball stops more in front of you and then you're not going to have a good shot. Does that make sense? So if you're taking really large steps, it's possible that you're going faster than your ball and then you're left with the ball falling in front and then you end up making a shot where the ball is in front of you, where you want the ball to be on the side of you. So having micro steps kind of allows you to follow the ball and not anticipate the ball and be in the right position for when the ball is ready for you to hit it. So this also applies for when you're defending in the corner, for example. Just come to the corner so you can see, and we'll try and imagine a ball. You're a right-sided player, you're defending in the corner, you see the ball approach. If you're taking a large step like this, maybe the ball ends up landing here versus here, and then you're in a really uncomfortable position to answer the ball. So you want to, again, take micro steps. If you see the ball approaching on your left, instead of jumping like this and anticipating that the ball is going to be behind you, just follow the ball with micro steps. So take baby steps, follow the ball, and then be in the right position to return. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what happens when I take bigger steps. If I had just made micro steps in that situation, I could have been closer and had a way more effective ball. So we can anticipate the ball more or less. You know, the more you play, the more you understand the game and the way the ball bounces. But for the most part, like, you don't know if the ball, how much effect it has, how hard they hit it. So it's really important to have those micro steps. Instead of taking really long steps, follow the ball and be there with the ball. All right, so mistake number 2 is preparing too long. So this can be applied for the volley or for if you're playing in the back of the court, just forward and backhand drive. So the idea behind preparing really long, I understand it because you want to have as much power as possible. And when you have more distance away from the ball and you're coming from further away, that does allow you to have more power. However, it's a lot more of a risky shot. More often you're going to miss than get it in. Even though you have more power, it doesn't make sense in the game of Padel because in Padel, you want to minimize your risk because making mistakes makes you lose points. And at the end of the day, avoiding mistakes in your match allows you to win matches. So the idea is you want to have a short preparation, right? So if you're receiving a ball, you want to open not much further than your knee, around here. You want to avoid coming from all the way back here to receive your ball. You want to be closer to the ball when you receive it. So around here is where you want to hit the ball. And that's the same for the backhand. You kind of want to be like around here instead of coming from way up here to try and get more strength. If you do want more strength, you have to learn to hit with the rotation of your shoulders and your core. You want to be here and rotate your shoulders. Use your body weight, use the strength of your core. So mistake number 3 is moving up to the net without any real strategy or intention. So you make a good lob, you see that your opponents are moving back to the back of the court, and then you approach the net, but you don't really know where to go. So this can be applied for making lobs, but it can also be applied if you're making a bandeja. And the tip is you want to always go in the direction where you hit the ball. A lot of the times in beginner matches, you'll see somebody hitting a bandeja and kind of just either staying in the same place or not even moving their body, just swinging their arm. So when we hit bandejas or viboras, we always encourage you to, when you hit, you rotate your body and you fall and you put your body weight into the direction where you're hitting, because this allows you to quickly run towards the direction of where your ball is going. If you're hitting and your body weight is going somewhere else, it's going to make it a lot more challenging for you to be in the right position to return the ball whenever it's coming back to you. So very good rule of thumb, hit and position your body weight into the direction of where you are hitting so that you can be prepared for the next ball that's coming. I wanted to do it slow so you can see what's happening. You want to rotate your body, and as you're hitting, use the momentum of your bandeja and your body weight to push push you into the direction where you are hitting. So this can also be applied for if you're lobbing at the back of the court. A lot of the times we lob and we know that once we make a good lob, we have to approach the net. But a lot of the times we just approach the net for approaching the net and we don't have a direction or an intention of where we're going. Same rule applies. If you're lobbing to the right side of the court or the left side of the court, make sure that you're going into that direction. So if I'm in the back of the court, for example, I make a nice lob to the cross, I'm gonna make sure that when I come and I approach for my lob, that's where I'm going. I'm not gonna approach all the way over here because this side player isn't in possession of the ball. So likely the ball isn't gonna be returned to me here. So it doesn't make sense for me to waste protecting all of this space over here, if that makes sense. So move into the direction where you hit your ball. Mistake number 4 is hitting an overhead backhand shot. So this is a shot that you use when you really have no other options left. What you should do instead is either a gancho if you're playing on the right side or a rulo, for example. So the typical or the easy response when you get a nice lob over the left side of your shoulder is to raise your racket and do a backhand overhead shot, right? We've all done it. It's definitely the easier option and you're kind of out of position to do a bandeja. It's way harder to do a bandeja, you know? But if you can avoid this shot, definitely avoid it because it's really not an effective shot. It's kind of just like putting the ball in if you have to. What you should do instead, try and get into a better position. If the ball is not on your right side, that's okay. You can hit it over your head and aim for a rulo or a gancho to the side fence. So that's what you want to opt to do instead of this overhead shot with your backhand. So again, try and avoid this overhead backhand shot if you can and opt it for a rulo or a gancho over your head. The last mistake number 5, is running after a bad lob. Oftentimes we try and anticipate our lobs and we anticipate what our opponent is going to do with our lobs, and what we should do is not run too soon. We should wait to try and see how they're going to respond before we run. So oftentimes we hit a lob, maybe it's short, maybe it's kind of medium, and we don't know if our opponent is going to let it pass over their head or if they're going to attack it. So if you're running too soon and your opponent touches the ball before it bounces after your lob, it's really going to put you in a bad position and likely you're going to end up losing the point or just be really uncomfortable for the next balls to come. So tip number 5 is to make sure that you don't anticipate the response after your lob. Kind of watch their body language and wait. Still be ready, still move, still moving your feet, trying to get to the corner to see more or less what your opponent is about to do. If you see they're gonna do a smash, then you can start running up. If you see they're gonna do a vibora or a bandeja shot, then you can kind of stay more at the back because you know the rebound is gonna be low. But definitely avoid doing a lob and running too soon to the front of the net. I see this happen so often. I'm guilty of it as well. So that is my last and final tip. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. If you are enjoying these paddle tip videos, we actually have a playlist dedicated just for paddle tips and tricks that you might enjoy as well. We'll see you next week. Again, thank you for watching. Bye guys.